Hi everybody, my name is Chris Valona, Director of Project Sebastian. Where is it though? There it is, right there. See it? Yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to say thank you to the creators of 24 Hour Rare for allowing me to speak to you on Batten Disease during this session. So we have a lot to get to, so we're just going to get into it. And thank you all for joining us today and hopefully spreading some much needed advocacy and awareness through rare disease. And this is a great platform to do so. So thank you, and I'm honored to be here. So I'm handling Batten disease. I hope I speak well, and I hope I speak informed. And if you have any questions or comments, you can always reach out to me, chris@projectsebastian.org, to either refute or to help me understand more that what I'm saying. There's just too much information. There's so much. So forgive me if I butcher it. I don't have much time. I think I got about, 10 or 15 minutes here. But I'm going to do the best I can, probably go double than that. So, Batten disease, as you know or don't know, is a neurological condition that affects the brain and how it operates. There are currently 14 known progressions of this horrible disease, and they vary based on the type of genetic mutation. Each form is classified by a gene that causes this disorder. Each gene is called a CNLN. For ceroid lymphinosis neuronal. Yeah, see, I can't speak on it. And it's given a different number of designation as its subtype. This disorder generally includes a combination of different types of horrible effects on the body, and some of these are shared throughout the different categories, 1 through 14. Some of the most common is a vision loss, epilepsy, and dementia. Some people would also say that this is similar to ALS in children. Some of the horrible facts is that every year that hundreds of children and their families cope with the diagnosis of Batten disease. We're here for you. If you're just finding us, we see you. We want to get to know you. It's going to be a long journey, and it's not one that's going to be with a happy ending anytime soon, but we'll help you get through those hard times, and we'll help you put in touch with others and stuff like that. So basically, the children and the adults with this rare neurodegenerative disorder have inherited genetic material from the parents that after so many years, some begin to impact their daily lives. And when it does, the families are often in shock when they experience their seemingly normal child changing, and sometimes quickly, without cause. Regardless of whether your loved one is a progression of Batten disease or not, we want you to know that there are many different families around the world, just like you, if you're listening in today, and we want to be there for you. Symptoms like the visual impairment or the seizures among these are difficulties. They're very, very difficult to deal with, let alone the issues with the brain deteriorating, and the seizures, and the dementia, and the vision loss. It is a lot, and this is just one. This is just one of 10,000 rare diseases. So every year there is more added to the list, and these are updated new facts coming out for this year for 2023. It's incredible, and we'll get to that in a minute. So how does Batten disease come? What causes Batten disease? By no fault of anybody's. This is not something you can catch. All right, this is an inherited genetic disorder that appears through the carriers of both parents. So you have to have both parents with this genetic disorder presenting at the same time. So it's unfortunate, but it happens, and it's been happening a lot more often than we like to say. The body's affected with these cells called lysosomes, and they are the recycling bin of the cell, and they regularly break down the waste, the proteins, and the naturally occurring fatty compounds called lipids into smaller components that can be discarded out of the cell or recycled. These children don't have that in Batten disease. They don't have the ability to do that. They're missing that component, that enzyme that helps take out the trash, as someone would say. And unfortunately, without enzyme replacement therapies or other types of drugs or gene therapy, the children continue to get worse over time because the toxic buildup destroys the brain, and the brain starts to die off. How many people do have these disorders? It's not known currently, but by some estimates, it can be frequently as one as in 12,500 people in some populations. Normally, they're saying it's still 2 out of every 4, 100,000 live births in the United States, probably more across the entire world. And though all those diseases are rare, the child onset variants are the most common in the neurodegenerative disorders of childhood. Occasionally, this disease occurs in more than one person in families that carry the defective genes. So how do we find out? What do we do? How do you know? Because we've all heard about talking about misdiagnosis and stuff like that. And we talk about people having diagnosis day and sometimes multiple diagnosis days because, you need to actually figure out what's really going on. And we went through that. We were diagnosed twice, once for epilepsy and then one for Batten disease. So it doesn't always present all the symptoms up front, and so we're quick to get a diagnosis so we can get some medication, we can get some treatment and fix our kids, but alas, there's more. And this is where you really need to do some serious consideration of testing. So currently the most diagnostic Batten disease are made through genetic testing. I suggest highly. You can also get DNA analysis, measurement of enzyme activity. Blood and urine test can detect abnormalities and indicate Batten disease. Skin or tissue sampling, we did that. EEG monitoring the brain through the skull using electrodes that are placed on the scalps. Electric studies of the eyes because the retina dies off. And MRIs, CT scans, just changes in the brain's appearance over time. And though you might be reaching those milestones, but unfortunately some of them are masked and they don't happen until later. So just want you to really discuss that if you're new to this disease, to get some second and third opinions and push people for these tests. And they're not cheap. And insurance is starting to kick in a little bit, but you really want to get a diagnosis as fast as you possibly can. So there is no treatment really specific that can reverse the symptoms or any form of this damage in Batten disease. Current symptoms, current therapies are to maintain life and to fight off the progression of this disease. As we talked about ERT, enzyme replacement therapy. That's currently happening in CNL2. And thank God for Brinera that has been shown to slow the halt and the progression of those symptoms. And like I said before, there's really no treatment out there that can actually stop and reverse the effects. So people are still working on that. There's lots of research still being done at NIH. There's lots of new things that are supposed to be coming. Time will tell if they get funded. Hopefully gene therapy can kind of get back on course. But it's sad, for CNL8 in my son's situation, there has been nothing new except for researchers and pharmaceutical companies dropping the CNL8 research due to lack of participation or funding as a whole. It's rare. CNL8 is one of the rarest out of all of the 14. And because there's so few of us, people who are in the ability to maybe make some changes as a progression down of research, they choose not to due to the exorbitant amount of money it takes. And so, it sucks. It really does. It's frustrating. We were told a couple different times that things were going to be better and we were going to take care of this and this was going to happen and your son's going to be all right. And, it never happened. It never came to fruition. And so, I got angry. Who wouldn't get angry? You're a rare disease parent. I'm sure you're not happy all the time. It's just no way. You don't have a chance at a normal life for your children. A life expectancy, it's not that great. So yeah, build our hopes up and then take it away. Not once, but twice. It's frustrating. It really is. It's sad. It's sad. It's hard to be positive all the time. We had people coming to us in the CNL8 family, and we redirected them to these physicians and these hospitals, and Unfortunately, it takes money. It takes a lot of money to have some sort of a baseline clinical trial. And then if it only is, I guess, in the best interest of making money, then they will continue to do the research. And for a lot of our children, we don't have a whole lot of time. And a lot of them are disintegrating in front of us. So, the researchers and pharmaceutical giants, they basically say, hey, it's really not worth it. And I'm sorry, we're going to keep trying, but we need more participation. We need more money. And as you know, with Batten disease, this is a very aggressive disease, and it just destroys the body from the inside out. And it destroys the family. This affects the entire family. Not only is this disease a killer, but it's a killer of marriages. It's a killer of relationships, killer of siblings, everything. It's hard. It's hard, So I've allowed myself to feel, right? Because, we don't want to upset anybody, but, I'm tired of that. I'm allowed to feel. I'm allowed to feel angry and resentful and mad, but there's really no one to blame, right? I didn't ask for this. My ex-wife didn't ask for this. We didn't ask for having children, and I'm sure you're in the same boat listening to me. Yeah, we didn't know. We didn't, it's not like we chose to have children with these defective genes. Maybe if this was a test early on, maybe we'd make different choices. I don't know. But here we are. And I could sit there and get mad and get angry and cry and go into depression and all that crap that comes with this lovely disease. Or I could do something. So kind of pivoted from fundraising for clinical trials and researchers to go to work, and kind of accepted the fate that there probably will not be a cure or a treatment for Batten disease in most variants in my lifetime or my son's lifetime. He will probably pass away. So what do you do with all that? I didn't have anywhere to go. I didn't have anything to do. I didn't know where to. You can't really relate outside this disease. A lot of people don't get it. And anybody in rare disease, you just don't get, normal people don't get us. So what do we do? Where do you go? How do you deal with that shit? I'm sober 27 years almost, and I certainly wasn't going to start drinking and using drugs again because, God, what would happen to my son? What would happen to my other son, Gage, right? They need somebody here to be present. So, I was just like, what works? Well, I'll tell you what works. Support groups work. There's a lot of great organizations out there that offer support groups, but not a lot of us were doing it on a weekly basis. So I wanted one here in Los Angeles for rare disease support groups. So Project Sebastian created a weekly support group. And I'm not knocking anybody else that's doing the quarterly or the biannually or the annual. Those conferences are great. Go to them. I do. But I needed something more. I needed to connect with other rare disease families, not just in Batten disease, but other. So once a week on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, because I live in California, we have a 1-hour support group that is on Zoom as well, or in person. And to find out more about that, you can go to projectsebastian.org and hit the meetings tab. And drop down, you can find out the address. Thank God for Henry Mayo and Newhall Hospital here who took us under them. They loved our idea, so we get to use their facilities. And people on Zoom that chime in. We've had a few people from across the pond in Europe and stuff, as well as in the United States. Thank God for them. And thank God I got to connect with them on a different level. Not just hanging out with them, or having these support groups, Facebook is great and all that stuff, but I really wanted to just sit down and talk to another rare disease family face to face, like I do in my other support groups. And I did it. We did it. Rare disease forced us to do it. So, and in those groups, I get to be this person that you're listening to now, somebody who's been raw and right from the jump, I've just been real. I've been trying to be real. And you may not agree with it, and you may not like me, and that's okay. But that's my story. That's my journey. And I may have ruffled a few feathers along the way, but I make no apologies. I will never apologize. I will try to do better. As my younger son says, Dad, do better. So I want change. We all want change. I want more research. I want more money for research. I want more participation from pharmaceutical companies. I want those guys that make the decisions to actually listen. We're throwing away hundreds of millions of dollars anyway. Why not throw a few tens of millions into research that you may or may not get a result, but it may work. I'm desperate, like the rest of you listening. It's time. It's a killer. We need more help. We need more advocacy. We need more research. We need more. I'm sorry, but the only way it happens is right here, people listening. Real quick, for all you researchers and doctors and pharmaceutical giants that say you think you got something and you're just looking for participation and you're selling us a dream, please stop. It just destroys us. Our very soul is sucked out when you have false promises and your results are nil. It sucks. Please stop. If you don't have something, don't share it. Please. It kills us all. If you got something and you know you're going to put something together, contact us. Let us know. Let us know the truth. Not just because you need numbers in a study. All right? We need real, tangible things. We need medicine. We need therapies. We need treatments. And we need cures. God knows I would love to cure all of this. All of you. Not just in Batten Disease land, but all in rare disease. We need to start putting people's lives before profit. And I can say that. Damn right I can say it. I went through that conversation twice. I can't do it anymore. So we need to be more advocacy, more of a force. Get in front of your congressman like I did, like we did, right? Our foundation. Lots of foundations out there doing the same thing. We need to come together, unite, Like I said, our group is on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Please join us on Zoom. Please join us. We want to hear your story. We want to hear your hardship. We want to let you know you're not alone. It's a good place. It's a good place to connect. Project Sebastian has created a good place to connect with others. And that's our new mission statement, as you can see it right there. Right there. We're here to provide psychotherapy, support groups, education, and resources to all families suffering from rare disease. Therapy is so good for us. We're here for you. You just got to want it. And if you don't know where to do it, just call me. All my contact information is on the website. I'm happy to tell you that we got some new partnerships going on. And along with our new mission, we're basically... let me just say something. We will never stop fundraising for treatments or cures. We won't for Batten disease, but we found that there was a better opportunity to connect all rare disease families so that we can have something right now, not future, but now, connection, help, love, support, something that people are just not getting because we're so frantic trying to figure out where to go, how to do this, who's got what, and why we forget about us. We forget about us inside. My mental health is just jacked. I never really looked at it before I met some people in this space, man. And when we opened up the doors to all rare disease space, we started talking to a lot of mental health providers. Whoa. I go to therapy just like, you should, or you do. And I never really looked at it, the fact that while I'm taking care of Sebastian, I'm forgetting about myself. It's very important. It's very important. That's why we're doing that, okay? That's why we created the support group, so that we can get, in touch with others to help ourselves. So, like I said, I was talking about these great partnerships. Rare Revolution Magazine. God bless those people, I tell you. Tremendous amount of resources out there for you. Way that they basically help you broadcast your advocacy. They support you. They will repost. They will create things for you about your advocacy. You need to call them now. You need to get on. You need to go to see them. Rare Revolution magazine today. They're basically helping Project Sebastian like I've never been helped before in that sense of social media, that aspect, and they handle all different channels of social media. Your Twitters, your Facebooks, your Reels, your YouTube, and all that stuff. They can do it for you. They'll help you. Also, another great opportunity for you to connect with the other rare disease families is Effie Parks. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hey, thank God. And Gay Grossman. Oh my God. You got to reach out to these women. These people really changed my mindset when I was changing out my podcast. And both those women are huge, huge advocates for their rare disease. You got to look them up. They're amazing women. And Effie basically has a great podcast called Once Upon a Gene. And her son, Ford, is suffering from CTNN1, and it's a syndrome, and she's got a podcast to help you get through it. It's like listening to your friend, talk about their day. They bitch and complain, or they got something good to say. It's a great way to connect. She's amazing. So, reach out to her today. I think it's onceuponagene.com. If I got it wrong, I'm sorry. You can Google it. Also, of course, another great partner is the BDSRA, the Batten Disease Research Association. What a great foundation. They will take your call today or email today, and they will help you in the Batten Disease space. They will guide you with resources, help you with anything that you're struggling with, put you in connections with other people and other families, other organizations and stuff like that. They're a really great opportunity for you if you're struggling and you don't know where to start. That's a great baseline. We're happy to be a part of their family too. Also, Global Genes. God bless the people at Global Genes. They're talking about all rare diseases and connecting all rare diseases just like Project Sebastian does on a very small level. But Global Genes is huge. They just partnered up with RareX. They just combined everything. God bless those people because they're really connecting others. And if you haven't been to that summit, that's a great one to go to as well. For you people local in Los Angeles, that's down in San Diego County, and I believe it's in September. You might want to get on the globalgenes.com and just check around on that site and get in the patient portal and start chatting it up with people in that chat feature. It's such an amazing, refreshing place and stuff like that. So, also Rare Patient Voice, giving patients and caregivers their voice. They talk about how they're going to help you build out advocacy, put you in touch with research and patient support. It's amazing. Those people are out there trying to push the needle as well. I just talked about all those great organizations. Every one of those organizations is trying to help us, help you, help people in rare, help people in Batten disease. Find them. Just get in touch with them, even if it's just to say hi to somebody that actually understands what you're going through. So let me go through it again. globalgenes.com, bdsrafoundation.org, onceuponagene.com, Rare Patient Voice. They're amazing. They're amazing. So like you also wanted to know what else we're doing, right? Well, along with those things about, when you can either sit around and do nothing and complain and bitch, or you can get into action. So we decided we were going to continue on with something more. And we created a new 5K race. And I say new, it's not new to, fundraising, but it's new for Project Sebastian. And our race is called the Rare Warrior 5x5. That's right. It's a new race because it's never been done in the city of the city of Santa Cruz inside California, I believe. It is a 5K and a 5-mile fun run and a virtual run. So you can run it whether, if you're sitting in Europe like Ollie's Army. Y'all can do it. Yes, you can. So it's happening May 20th here in the city of Santa Cruz. We're looking for sponsorships. Thank God for the UFC. They came in again as our title sponsorship. UFC is an amazing organization when it comes to supporting rare disease. If you're listening to this, hit them up now. Trust me, they want to help. So Basically, this run is supporting all rare disease families through our mission. As you know, you can read it in the back. It's an amazing thing. So it's not a timed event. So all you guys who are real serious about doing your time, that this is not your event. But it is your event anyway. So come on out if you just want to run or walk, or just meet some great vendors. You got Men Cryotherapy coming out, Focus PT coming out. You've got Shriners coming out. And these are all these organizations that have helped Sebastian in some way, shape, or form. Okay. Registration is now open. You can go to projectsebastian.org and hit the upcoming events tab and hit your registration button, the big zebra there, as I love to call that thing, the big zebra, and get your registration on today. Proceeds are to go all, the proceeds are to benefiting Project Sebastian to help continue the mission, to do what we're doing right now, which is to spread awareness. What else? California Batten Disease Awareness Weekend's coming up June 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of 2023. Again, wanted to do something, wanted to bring more to the table, wanted to get more spotlight to Batten Disease. More awareness means more research, more dollars. Still trying to do that, regardless of my path, whether it's been up and down like the rest of you. Call your congressman, call your senator. Get something on the books like we did here. Thank God for this foundation, Project Sebastian. We just kept pushing. And we created Senate Joint Resolution 25, which basically states that every week, the first weekend in June for the rest of time, is Batten Disease Awareness Weekend for California. It's amazing. And that's the weekend that is backed up by Batten Disease Awareness Worldwide, which is amazing. We're starting to get legs. People are starting to understand that this is a disease, and people are saying, what's that? And instead of saying, what's that? They say, oh yeah, I think I've heard of that. What else did we do? County of Los Angeles, which is separate because everybody's different here. They decided to recognize Project Sebastian making June Batten Disease Awareness Month for the entire Los Angeles County. Not bad. We still got a lot of work to do, and here we're going to keep doing it, I'm going to keep advocating for these horrible diseases for our state, not just Batten disease, but I'm just saying, if you're listening and you've got another horrible disease, get in front of your people that you actually put in office and tell them, go to work for me and get this done, okay? Because what this will do is this will put this on the ticker, and then the researchers and these giants and pharmaceutical people will try to figure out where would you put our money, and they might just choose you, Hopefully they don't come with empty promises, but hopefully they come with future of treatments and promises of maybe a cure, But today we're grateful that we're going to keep pushing. You got to keep pushing. One of the things that has helped Sebastian, in my opinion, is that because he hasn't had any therapies at all, as I've said, he's been, kicked out of a couple. We have never stopped training that kid like he is the first round pick going to the NFL. Okay? And let me tell you, your kids want to work out. They want to eat better. They want to do all these things, but they obviously need our help. We have therapists. We take him to specialized therapists using the newbie, using the pulse bed. We have a personal trainer coming here to the house. And yes, some of that stuff is covered by insurance. It is. And some of it has been donated to us out of the kindness of these people's hearts because they just want to help Sebastian. You need to find these people. Okay? You, parents, siblings, advocates, family members, you need to help. Find these people who want to give their time to help your child live. They did it for us, and they will do it for you. I promise you that. Sebastian is still fighting. And yes, this disease is kicking his ass this year, but he's still here and he's still fighting. He's not completely incapacitated yet. We're very lucky. It's because he's the only kid with a split gene variant. At this time, I don't know of any other child with a split gene variant of CNL8. Maybe that's why he's going to be 20 and still able to walk and talk and do a lot of great things. I don't know. I don't know where he would be had we not trained him. Yes, in the weight room. Yes, in the martial arts floor. Everything. He does everything that we possibly can because he wants to. He still chooses to because he's choosing to live. And I got to tell you, that kid is a great inspiration. And just like your children are inspiring you, trust me when I tell you that. That's what I get up every day for. Okay, I've got a great family. I really do. My 2 boys are amazing. And without them, I don't know where I would be. I'm very blessed. And I'm carrying a lot on my plate. And that's another reason why I have to tell you got to reach out and you got to ask for help. Male ego and pride, I said it, male ego and pride is the death of every man. Almost happened to me. I've learned to reach out and ask someone for help. It's not a weak thing. It's a strong thing. Because we can't do this alone. We can't. How can we? You know? Get a therapy dog too. Sophia's amazing. Sophia's amazing. I just wanted to just tell you about, you guys got to keep pushing for your kids and keep pushing physically and find these programs that are covered. Whether you put them in the pool, you put them in the gym, you put them in the martial arts track, you put them on horse therapy, all that stuff, because it just lifts their spirit, and they look forward to it, and they fight back. You know, a lot of things are going on, and it's really hard, and I get it. Another thing that we're expanding into is helping families in rare disease who are struggling with addiction. Yeah. We're a proud sponsor of CSG Consulting, and basically we have learned that there's a lot of people in the rare disease space that are struggling with addiction. And I understand that 100%. I really do. It's horrible to watch our children die in front of us at a very young age. The stress, the physical, the emotional, it's just damaging. And I get it. A lot of us like to check out, like to drink too much, maybe partake in a little drugs. You're not present anymore. You take off. You're scared. I get it. So we're hoping we put you in touch with some of our sober coaches to help you understand that you don't have to do that anymore if you don't want to. You need to stay sober, or you want to get sober, you want to call CSG. Trust me. You want to be sober for these kids. Trust me. They need you to be sober. If you don't think you have a problem, fine. If you think you have a problem, fine too. CSG, the sober coaching, they're here waiting for you. And we can put you in touch with them today. You can also visit them on the web at consultingwithcsg.com. That's www.consultingwithcsg.com. Just make an appointment. It's virtual or in person. They're always open. You know, you want to find a pathway to sobriety, they're a great outfit to have. I know I've said a lot. I don't know if I'm going to get cut off, but I guess in the end, it's really simple. You can give up and be angry and blame it all. Get loaded, get drunk, get into a fight, break your marriage up, all that good stuff, fight with the others and fight with the other kids. Or you can just really start to live the life that you have to live now. And it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a lot of mental courage and a lot of physical courage to stand up to these rare diseases like Batten disease. I get it. I'm in it every day with you. I am no different than you. Trust me when I tell you that. I'm here, struggling, fighting every day. The way I've done it is I get into action, and I get behind this microphone. I have a podcast, The Rare Hour with Christopher Valona, and I dump my stuff there, much like Effie, much like others. But that's how I do it. I get into action. I start talking. I go on social media. I post. I call my therapist. I go to my AA meetings. That's right. I'm diving myself out. I'm a sober member of Alcoholics Anonymous for almost 27 years. Oh my God. It's a long time. I am old. But I'm grateful. Because if I didn't have those support groups, I would be loaded. And I wouldn't be anywhere for my kids. I would just be shit. I'd be waiting for someone else to do it. You do it, I can't do it anymore. Blah, blah, blah. But I understand that too. It's such a problem, addiction. But I know getting into acceptance is the answer. And I know that there is no cure or treatment coming anytime soon, but I can sit there and accept that fate and run from it, or I can do something like I'm doing now. Creating actionable items, support groups, races, government advocacy. Why? Because I love my children. And I know you do too. And this is hard. It's really hard, but I don't have any time yet. Yes, you do. God damn it, you do. This is your child. This is your family. You can do it. And I'll help you. I really will. You need to do this. Why? Even though there's nothing right now, just a tiny percentage of effort, you might push through something for the families coming behind us. You ever think about that? You're doing it for the next generation so that they don't have to be us to go through this shit. Well, maybe not as long, right? All right, guys. I love all of you. You guys are doing a great job. If you need anything, you can reach out to me, chris@projectsebastian.org. I'm here for you. I want to be there for you. You just got to reach out. It's the hardest thing for us to do is to extend that hand. Well, here's my hand. Come on over to projectsebastian.org and I'll help you. And if I don't have the answer, you damn well better believe I've got a ton of resources that do. And I appreciate the time you've given me today. That's all I really have to say. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Hopefully. All right. Take care, guys.